I can't wait to share with you the 3 most inspiring words that I found that are not only inspiring, but they actually get me to do things. And guess what? I used those 3 words in the previous sentence. Coming up. That self-talk, that little self-talk that gets you going or brings you down. I think these 3 words can provide a great segue into you getting ready to do the work that needs to be. And I got this language from none other than the Terminator, the Governator. Now Arnold is one of the, I still, although he is very much celebrated in modern culture and all that, but I still feel that he's very, very underrated. And because he has done quite a few things that are not that easy to do. And he has done 4 different things that even if you do one of them, you're a unique person and you're a very hardworking person and you know what you're doing if you only do one of those things. He did 4. He was like a record-breaking multiple world champion, Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe and all that, and which is he got famous for initially. Then a lot of people don't know this, that he was actually a real estate businessman and a millionaire in US dollars back in the days, before getting his acting career off the ground. So, like, and there was this like a multi-millionaire businessman. Everyone can be a businessman in the sense that you can just need to say that I'm in business and you are a businessman. But being a successful businessman, that's a different story, and that's a very, very unique thing. If you get to cross $1 million, then you of course you belong to the top 1% or even less, top 1% of people, top 0.5% of people in the world who actually can get to say that. So that in itself becomes very unique. And combine these 2 things, that you become like a world-class bodybuilder, not once, not twice, but 7 bloody times, I think. And after that you do this. So that already sets you apart completely. But then he goes on to have an acting career. And not just like a one-off, you were there in a movie, or he played a cameo role or something like that. He became like the star of a very, very cutthroat industry with his own unique little, thing, with his own unique little imperfections of accent and his the way he looked. I mean, of course, you can't really cast someone who looks like Arnold in a romantic emotion. So those are limitations, supposedly. Unless, of course, you're Arnold, and then you play on those, and you become the Terminator, then you become Commando, and then you become all those stereotypical Hollywood icons. So he achieved the kind of success that very few actors or performers get to achieve. And that was after he did these 2 things. And that was the 3rd thing he did. But these 3 things are very, very difficult to do. These 3 things on their own, even individually, are very, very difficult things. And you get to do all 3 of them, but that's not all. He goes on to become the governor of like the 7th biggest economy in the world. He became the governor, the ruler of California. And that, again, if you grow up in a foreign country from America, and then you go to a foreign land, make your way over there, and then you become a governor. If that's your story, wow. I was like, wow, you must be a hard worker, you must be very lucky, God has blessed you. You have done so many things that you did right, and that's definitely worth a lot of appreciation in terms of, and you can learn a lot from someone like that. So those are 4 things that guy did. And the reason I'm building this thing up, I'm building Arnold up, is because I got these 3 words from him. This thing applies to you only if you are driven enough to have such goals that will demand such things that are boring. A lot of people will look at this and go, well, this doesn't apply to me. Or in fact, they will be like, but why is this even necessary? Why do you even have to, think like that to do the work that you have to do? Because, you just show up and do the thing. That's great. If you are doing that, perfect for you. Number 1. Number 2, your goal may not be that big enough then. Perhaps you have to look at your goal and say that, do you even have a goal? Do you even have something in the future that you are going for that is scary, that is difficult, that is way outside of your comfort zone? Do you even have that? If you don't have that, then these kind of things perhaps will not apply to you. And that's again that is okay. And this mindset, this way of looking at being driven and not being driven, that also came from the Governator. I also learned that from Arnold when he, after telling a very, very rigorous routine that he used to follow to be the world champion at bodybuilding, he mentioned almost as a passing remark that this applies to you if you're very driven. This kind of strictness in your discipline, this kind of attitude, and this kind of mental models that he was discussing, these apply to you only if you are driven enough to have such goals, such big goals, such scary goals. If you don't have them, then you're fine with it, then that's okay. This probably does not help you as much. It will still help you to do this little thing that you're trying to do. Of course, you can apply this in your life no matter what you're doing. But it really helps you if you're trying to do things that are very much outside of your comfort zone, very much different from your surroundings, very much scary. So yeah, I can't wait to hear your comments, and I will see you inshallah. Till then, I wish you nothing but the best. God bless, and just adventure.